Hey, TheDVDGrouch here. Doing something different this week, something you're probably not used to. This week, I'm actually reviewing something. Not only am I actually reviewing something, but I'm putting it on my blog for a change. Yeah, you know that blog, that thing that I have that had like nothing on it? Yeah, that's where this is going. Furthermore to that, I'm not actually talking about a movie this week. No. I'm talking about a game. Yes, that's right. The TheDVDGrouch does game. This review is going to be a little bit more freeform, a little bit more casual until I truly get a hang of it. Plus, I am a little bit out of my element talking about games, and especially, actually, I'm going to give a score at the end of it, something I'm not used to. Usually I'll do a top 10 or a retrospective, but I've never had to actually critique something this hard. Oh, I can tell you when something sucks. I'm just a little out of my element on this one, so if I end up sucking, please forgive me. Or don't, whatever, it's all really the same. Okay, so now that all that's out of the way, we can finally stop beating around the bush. I'm here today, of course, to talk about the PSP exclusive Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. For those of you not in the know, Kingdom Hearts is a sort of peanut butter and chocolate style video game series, by which of course I mean they take two properties, in this case being Disney and Square Enix, two things that on their own you really wouldn't think work together, jam them together, and they end up working quite nicely. Birth by Sleep is of course a prequel wherein you play three young Keyblade masters known as Terra, Aqua, and Ven, as they travel around to many different Disney-themed worlds trying to unravel a conspiracy as well as combat evil creatures known as Unversed. Let me get the good news out of the way as quickly as I can. If you've been a fan of the series up until now, you are going to like this game. Everything you enjoy is here. However, the same problems that have dogged the series from the very beginning, they are also apparent in this game. What do I mean by that? You encounter the game's biggest problem right off the bat, and that would have to be story. Because you're now playing as three characters, the game's overarching plot has to be split up between three individual characters. You'll all visit the same worlds and all experience different sides of a single story. Sometimes this works great, like when you're dealing with Sleeping Beauty. Sometimes not so much, like when you're dealing with the Colosseum. Oh, that's not to say there aren't good story bits littered all around, don't get me wrong, there are a few really good moments. But that's the problem, they're just moments. My second biggest problem comes in with character development and characterization. Oh, don't get me wrong, the main cast is good. Terra, Aqua, and Ven don't do anything that explicitly make me hate them, and I enjoyed the fact that they felt very familiar. But you see, that's the problem. They feel very familiar. Like Sora, Riku, and Kairi familiar. While I'm sure this was meant as well-intentioned nostalgia, overall there are points in the games where it feels kinda lazy, especially near the end. If I may, allow me to elaborate on this. Okay, right, so in the first game there was this kid, right? And you knew he had a great destiny about him. And he was plucky and he had a boyish charm and everyone liked him, right? And this guy was friends with this other guy who was slightly older, slightly more stoic, and he had a lot on his mind. Why? Because he was being tempted by the dark side, and occasionally the two guys would come to blows over this, right? And these two guys were friends with this girl, right? And she, well, okay, this girl was important, but the game often makes it that she's not as important as the guys, even though she sorta is. You see where I'm going with this, or am I just talking to the wall on this one? Okay, now that that little gripe's out of the way, on to the things I liked about the game. First and foremost, the music is superb. It's really nice to hear the original Kingdom Hearts theme over again, and if you're an old-school Disney fan like me, then all the different world themes are gonna hit you right in that nostalgic sweet spot. The graphics are also great. You can tell that this game is pushing the PSP for all that it's worth. Now granted, this does lead to some pretty long load times, but it's nothing a little installation won't fix. The game also boosts some very good voice work. Out of the main trio, I would probably have to say Jesse McCartney does the best job, and I never thought I would say Jesse McCartney does a good job of anything. Leonard Nimoy and Mark Hamill are on hand as Master Iroquois and Master Xehanort respectively. Both do a great job elevating their material, and it's just a lot of fun to listen to. But quite possibly the most interesting choice has to be Haley Joel Osment, one of the series' greatest mainstays, taking a villainous turn as Master Xehanort's secret apprentice, Vanitas. Quite possibly the biggest change and biggest improvement in Birth by Sleep comes in the form of the combat, which has been completely redesigned from the PS2 games. Gone are the reaction-style commands and simple hack and slash, now replaced with a sort of card-based system. Oh no, not the sort of card-based system you saw in Chain of Memories, no, not at all, that would suck. These new combat cards can either be picked up from fallen enemies or melded together from lesser techniques. Oh yes, you just can't simply buy your attacks from the store. Oh no, no. You want that level 3 fire spell? Well, you're gonna have to work for it, leveling up lesser spells, then melding them together in the menu screen, after you found the necessary recipe, of course. As a prequel, Birth by Sleep does a good job bridging the gap between itself and the original Kingdom Hearts series, as well as dropping a few hints along the way of what I can only imagine will be Kingdom Hearts 3. How do you get these hints? Well, you gotta get the secret ending, of course, which is always easier said than done. Well, I suppose I've waited just long enough, and I guess it's about time to give it the Grouch rating. For non-fans, it's good. It's really, really good. It's a great little PSP outing with about 15-hour campaigns for each of the 3 characters, some great music, some great nostalgia. It's most definitely worth your time. If you are a fan, then, well, I suppose I really can't give it a rating. Heck, if you're a fan like me, you probably bought a PSP just for the sole purpose of playing this game. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to be back again soon. And yeah, this will probably be my last game review. I probably don't plan on doing anything outside movies until I have something interesting to say. So, until I have something interesting again to say, this is the DVD Grouch saying, Grouch out.